Hi, welcome back to Mr. Leek's free science tutorials. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at microscopes. And we're going to be answering two questions. The first question is describe the key parts of the light microscope. And the second question then is explain how you would calculate the magnification of an object. Very, very common questions, particularly the second one to come up on your GCSE exam. So, describe the key parts of a light microscope. This is then a typical picture of a microscope, a light microscope that you would find in your normal classroom. The different parts, you've got the eyepiece lens, the focusing wheel, the objective lens, the stage and the light source. There are a number of other parts that could be talked about, like this here is the handle. Now, what this is describe the key parts of the light microscope. So, what you would need to do in a question like that is you would need to say the eyepiece lens, the focusing wheel, the objective lens, the stage and the light source, and then just talk about their roles. So the eyepiece lens is part of the magnification process, and it's usually probably times 10. The focusing wheel is a wheel on the side of the microscope that what it does, it moves it up and down very, very slowly. What it does, it makes the image clearer, and once you get it to exactly the right point, it focuses, or the image is then clear. The objective lens, what you'll normally have is you'll normally have three lenses around the outside there, right, around this part here, and they are the objective lenses, and each one of those then has a different magnification. And when you turn that round, the longest lens has the greatest magnification, the shortest lens has the smallest magnification. And what you would tend to do is start on the smallest, focus it, then turn to a bigger lens and a bigger lens. The stage, just like it might be in a theatre, is where the actual microscope slide ends up being. The light source is usually either an electric light at the bottom here that shines light through. So the light goes up through a little black hole that's inside here. That little black hole then allows the light through, and the light passes through whatever you're looking at it, whether it's a plant cell or an animal cell or onions or however it may well be. The other way that this could be is a mirror, and what you'd have is an angled mirror, and what you'd have to do is you have to move it around so the sun shines in this direction, hits the mirror and shines up into the eye. Okay, so describe the key parts of the light microscope. The eyepiece lens has a magnification part to it, and that is the part where you put your eye. The focusing wheel focuses the object and makes the object clear to the eye. The objective lens are a variety of different strength lenses that can make the object larger or smaller. The stage is then where the microscope slide is held under a couple of clips, and the light source provides light to make the object clearer to be seen through the microscope. The second part of the question was explain how you would calculate the magnification of an object. Now, to do this, you use this equation. And what you need to do is basically remember it. Magnification M equals the size of the image I divided by the real size of the object A. So basically what you'd have is you would have the size of an image. So that is the size of the image that you can actually see. And then the real size of the object. And what you'll do is you get given these numbers in your exam, right? Or you might have to work out one of these numbers based on a scale that you might have. And you'll literally divide size of the image by real size of the object. Okay, and then it makes sense because usually the size of the image is considerably bigger, and if you've got a bigger number on the top and a smaller number on the bottom, the magnification is then going to be greater than 1. All right, that's just very briefly about two possible GCSE questions that may well have. How you would calculate the magnification of an object, you need to remember that equation. Describe the key parts of the light microscope, where what you then need to do is you need to know the different parts and really their role. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to Mr. Leek's free science tutorials. In this video, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at comparing a light and an electron microscope. In the previous video, what we did is we talked about a light microscope. And if you just take a look back, what it'll do, it'll go through all the different parts of a light microscope. Now, an electron microscope is absolutely incredible. And if you just go into Google and you just have a look and you put in electron microscope pictures, they are absolutely incredible, right? The way that the pictures can actually be presented. Now, comparing a light and electron microscope. Now, what you need to do is you need to remember these different features down the side here to get the best possible answer for this. So, the radiation used. In a light microscope, it's obviously light rays. In an electron microscope, what it does, it uses a tiny, tiny little beam of electrons. The maximum magnification, that is about 1,500 times. So it's 1,500 times bigger looking through the actual light microscope itself. Very, very difficult to do. An electron microscope could be 2 million times bigger. So that's its maximum magnification. The resolution means how clear it is. And in a light microscope, it's basically clear to 200 nanometers. And an electron microscope, it's clear to 0.2 nanometers. The size of the microscope. Light microscopes are small and portable. You know, you can carry them around the lab, you can take them home, you can buy them at shops for a reasonable amount of money, and they tend to be small and they tend to be carried around. Electron microscopes are very large and not portable at all. When the first electron microscopes came out, they were the size of a room. Now, they're obviously a lot smaller than that now, but they are still very large and you cannot move them around. Cost, £100 for a school one. You could probably get one cheaper than that from some of the shops in your local town. And several £100,000 to £1 million plus the cost of an electron microscope. The question, compare a light and an electron microscope. So to answer that question, what you will do is you will say, the radiation used in a light microscope are light rays. The radiation used in an electron microscope are electron beams. The maximum magnification of a light microscope is about 1,500 times, and an electron microscope is about 2 million times larger. The resolution is 200 nanometers in a light microscope and 0.2 nanometers in an electron microscope. The size of the microscope, a light microscope is small and very portable. An electron microscope is huge, it's very large and not very portable at all. A feature of a light microscope is its cost is about £100. An electron microscope is several £100,000 to £1 million plus. Okay, now that is kind of a typical question that they might ask about light and electron microscopes, which is compare them. They may also ask the advantages and disadvantages. So obviously the advantages of an electron microscope is that its magnification is considerably higher. The resolution is considerably smaller. But the disadvantages, they are very large, not portable, and they cost a huge amount of money. That's kind of like an additional question that could be asked to do with a light and electron microscope. Thank you for listening.